Well, the muzzleloader season is just around the corner. So I come in here quickly, just look around, and I've got a Ruger #1 7mm mag out here. Even got a bullet for it. Even got a loaded round for it. Just see if by chance, and while I'm sitting here, in case a coyote comes by or something like that. But anyway, couple of friends come out yesterday, and one to get his rifle zeroed, and the other one just to check the zero on his rifle. One had 7mm mag, and he said, that gun's always right, it never changed zero, but he said, well, if you want to, go ahead and shoot it a couple of times, just to make sure. And it wasn't zeroed. I don't know what happened to it, but it wasn't zero good at all. So fired a few rounds, got it zeroed. And the other guy was really not a dyed-in-the-wood wool hunter. And he had him a new rifle, and wanted to get it zeroed. So somehow or another, he had 3 different loads, factory loads that he brought, and I looked through what he had, and I said, if it's me, I'd shoot this one. So we put it on a bench and shot it, and somehow or another, miracle of miracles, that son of a gun was perfect. It was zero perfect. 3 inches high at 100 yards. How that happened, I'll never know. But it just right out of the box. It was shooting fine. It was shooting great. But anyway, they wanted to come out here quickly. One of them, friends, he'd been out here at the farm many times, but somehow or another, he never saw the Quigley standing out here. So anyway, they wanted to come out. So I come out and I gave him a tour of the Quigley. We stood out here and shot the breeze for an hour or so and went on our merry way. And late, just a few minutes ago, I decided I'd come out here and just look around the last few minutes of daylight here. And when I opened the door to the Quigley, the sound was horrendous. One of the guys had opened one of the windows a little bit, and I didn't realize it. And when we left, I left with that window was left open, and it's been unseasonably warm. And like I said, we just moved the cattle off the farm, so there's a pretty good crop of flies left. Took all the cattle off, and the flies are lonesome, so they just don't. There seems to be an abundance of them. And that open window, fly's not real smart. He come through a little old window open about that far. And the Quigley is glass windows all the way around. And they came in by the gazillion into the Quigley and couldn't figure out how to get back out. They're not real smart. Every window is just loaded with them, and they're trying to get out that window. You'd think after a while, they'd think, well, I'm not getting anywhere, and they'd search around and try to find something. Well, got in here, got to be able to find a way out. Nah. Anyway, I mean, the sound of all those flies buzzing around was something else. And of course, as usual, there's this year a pretty good crop of ladybugs laying on everything, on the floor. And so when I started sweeping them up, they were just too many flies mixed in with your ladybugs. So and I didn't want to take time to pick all them flies, ladybugs apart, separate them. So I just swept them all up and threw them all out. So I lost the ladybugs, that supply of ladybugs. But I opened all the windows and the door and everything, got my broom out, and I was just shooing them around and everything. So most of them I kind of got out. And there's a few here and there that must have been the dumbest of the bunch that they hadn't. I've got 3 wide open windows and they hadn't figured out how to fly out either one of them. I hadn't, but all that abundance of flies, I mean, you know me, I don't like to waste an abundant food source, but I'm not really sure what you can do with house flies, farm flies, cattle flies, whatever you want to call them. I don't know. So, maybe, I don't know. I've never tried eating them things, and I can't imagine really what they taste like. But they might lend themselves to a jelly or a jam or something like that. I got a feeling you're going to have to put quite a bit of sugar with them. So maybe jelly or jam, or maybe even something like a mincemeat pie or something. But anyway, that's just something to think about. A while back, I would. Most everybody knows that that I'm kind of fond of ladybugs, and I had used them primarily just 2 ways: as a stew, and if you don't have a whole lot of them, just kind of use them, put a few of them raw on crackers, and they work out pretty. They're good. They're good. But I was thinking, I talked before, if we could find some kind of a mesh small enough, they might be good grilled. But trying to find the right thing to grill them on where they wouldn't fall through, and that was substantial enough that it wouldn't melt, or like a screen wire, aluminum screen wire or fiberglass screen wire or something. That's not going to work. And I thought about maybe trying to find some kind of steel mesh, but looking around, I come up with I really don't know what its purpose was, but it's copper. It's about a foot square and probably, I don't know, maybe half-inch wall to rim around it, like a little square skillet, sort of, with edges around it. The edge is only about half-inch so tall, and it's about a foot square. It got a long handle on. And it's just full. I mean, it's just row after row after row after row of little holes, little round holes. And what the purpose of it was, I really don't know. But those holes are about maybe 3/4 the size of a ladybug, so the ladybugs won't fall through them. And I thought, man, that looks like that ought to be just about the right thing to try grilling the ladybugs on. There have been turkeys in every nook and cranny on the farm. I mean, everywhere you look, there's turkeys. There's virtually every nook and cranny has got turkeys on it. And there have been my 2 regular does out, but the bucks that had been visiting the farm, I hadn't seen them in a while. I think there's such an abundance of acorns, I think they're back in the woods eating acorns for a while. But anyway, where's I about on my ladybug? This copper pan, So I got me some ladybugs and spread them out on that pan, stuck them on the grill, and up about medium heat, and I grilled them, I don't know, probably about 6 minutes, something like that maybe, and shaking that pan around, and just keep, moving around a little bit, and about medium heat for, like I said, somewhere around 6 minutes or so. Actually, they were a little better than I expected them to be. I mean, they're really good. I mean, they're I guess the best word to use would be kind of crunchy, kind of like a peanut. A really dry roasted peanut, not a honey roasted, but a dry roasted peanut. It had a texture about like that, and of course the flavor's all their own. I mean, they don't taste like no peanut. They may have a texture sort of like peanut, but they certainly don't taste like they got peanuts beat on pieces. But I got thinking, what about if I put just a little bit of oil on, just a light coat of oil on those ladybugs, and then put them on the grill? Would that make them a little crispier even than what they are? So I sprayed a little coat of oil on them and turned the heat up just a little bit and put them in that grill. And after a few minutes, I shook them around a little bit, and all of a sudden, the things started popping like popcorn. I mean, they'd pop and go flying out of that little pan, pop and go flying out of that little pan. Oh my goodness. So I pulled that pan out off the grill right fast and went over and picked up some of them that went flying around over the room there and used the 5-second rule. If it hadn't laid in the floor over about 5-10 seconds, it should be all right. So I got me one of them little things, and they popped just like a popcorn, but they weren't quite as big as the average, little piece of popcorn. And popcorn's kind of mostly white and got a little bit goldish color, a little bit yellow here and there. But these things they weren't that way at all. They were more of a, it's hard to describe a color, kind of a more of a green or maybe even brown, an iridescent green sort of a color, and had quite a bit of orange. Their little wings are kind of orangish looking, and had a fair amount of orange and a little black speck here and yonder, and attractive, really, So, and they tasted wonderful. So I thought, good grief! So I found all this all by accident. So we have a fireplace or a campfire popcorn popper. So I went and grabbed that thing, threw a bunch of them ladybugs in there, them oiled down great ladybugs, threw them things back on the grill, turned that grill up, and it popping around the whole place. And so when I got through, I had a big bowl, big bowl of ladybug poppers, and so dribbled just a little bit of stink bug butter on them, and went up to the cabinet, got some regular seasoned salt, and salted them down pretty good. And went in the living room and turned on the TV and started watching reruns of Yellowstone, sitting there eating my ladybug poppers. Out here in a nice place like the little old farm here. It just don't get much better than that. My goodness. Life is good. And if you're blessed with an abundant food source like we are with ladybugs out here, use just a little bit of ingenuity and think a little bit, I'm sure I've only come up with scratched the surface on ways to utilize this. And ladybugs, so far we got 3. That'd be maybe 4 ways to fix them. Fix them in stew and raw on crackers and grilled. Just dry roasted. I guess they grilled, and ladybug poppers, popcorn, and my buddy got me on the stink bugs, but so far it's just been stink bug butter. You can look into that a little more. All this abundance of flies. I'm not sure that's worth a lot of effort, because they'll be gone pretty soon. If it gets a little cool, they'll be gone. So it may not be worth the effort. But muzzleloader season will be here just in a few days, and I really do. I think all the bucks and most of the does too, for that matter. But I think there is an abundance of acorns this year, so I think most of them are still back in the woods. But on the first few days of muzzleloader season, we're going to go up to mountains up the county, about 150 miles north of the farm here. We'll go up and camp a little while. I like to hunt the big woods, roam around the big woods with my old traditional muzzleloader, shooting patch round ball. Old Tennessee poor boy, I'd drag it out and go wander the mountains again. I like to wander those mountains. Somehow or another, it seems like every year they get a little bit bigger, a little bit taller, a little bit steeper. Much fun's everywhere, but I like to hunt on the move. Still hunt is the term we used years ago. Most modern hunters, you don't even know what still hunt means. You say, well, I'm going out and still hunt a little while. They think you're going to go out and get up on a tree stand and be still or something. They don't even know what still hunting is. But anyway, there's still hunting and stand hunting. How those terminologies really came into being, I'm not really all that sure, but stand hunting is kind of self-explanatory, but still hunting, I guess I really don't know how that term come about, but anyway, you kind of try to be still, but moving around through the woods, just slowly moving around through the woods. It's the ultimate way to deer hunt. Anyway, I'll go to the mountains and I'll spend a little time still hunting the mountains that probably don't have the deer population they got here at the farm. There's White and her mom up there. Those two, they think these fields belong to them, I reckon. They're here all the time. A few shots coming from gun club over there, where there was a big pretty red-tailed hawk. He's a big pretty thing. Shooting sounds like somebody getting ready for trying to get the deer rifle checked out. It's not coming from shotgun fields. That's from the rifle range. Yep. Season will be here in a few days. And like I said, this has been, without a doubt, the prettiest fall you could ever imagine. The colors have just been fantastic. They still are. I mean, red, yellows, oranges. But for a long time, they were just, the woods were just absolutely almost, leaves, more leaves still on this time. They're still on this time of the year than any kind of time I ever remember. But the woods have started to open up a little bit. And that almost leaves the trees that are still pretty much in full leaf, they stand out. I mean, there's hundreds of them. Yellows, oranges, reds. It's beautiful. Lord's creation is something else. I like to spend as much time as I can. He took the time and effort to create it, and I'm going to take the time and effort to enjoy it. Yeah. I'm just going to sit back. It'll be dark here in about 20 minutes. I'm just going to sit back and wait for dark to fall here in the valley. Talk soon. You know, if the season was open, I hadn't looked at my watch, but I'd say that if the season was open, that I'm right now right at or past legal shooting hours. The season's not open, so I don't reckon it matters, but I had seen, not a buck, the only thing I have seen a lot of turkeys. And turkey season's open, by the way, that I could even take them with a rifle here in this, and I've had plenty of opportunities, but I'm not going to burn up my turkey tags here in the fall pot shooting them rifle. I'll wait spring and do my spring gobbler hunting. Draw them in close with a shotgun. And all I've seen a lot of turkeys. Like I said, I've seen turkeys everywhere you look. There's been turkeys, but only a couple of deer and no does. Same does that I think they own the place, or at least they think they do. I would really like to see one of those bucks. I hope they're not 10 miles away from here. You never know, Old buck can have pretty good range, especially when the rut comes on. Just sitting here hoping to get a glimpse of one of them. Yeah, there's three nice bucks been here. I would like to. I wouldn't turn any of the three of them down, but boy, two of them are nice. Two of them are really nice. I mean, the third one is too, but really long, tall 8-pointer. Perfect eight. I mean, tall rack, long tines. Like I said, it's the three of them, and they have been, three of them standing together out there at the edge of the fields eating acorns on several occasions. The smaller, and he's not a little buck, but the smaller of them, if he was by himself, I'd take him. But standing with the other two, he'd be safe. He'd be safe. The other two are really nice bucks. I sure would like to get a look at one of them here. Just let me know that they're still around. But even though I haven't seen them before, their actions, the way they responded when we were out here getting some guns zeroed in, and they were up here, I don't know, about 300 yards away, and guys were shooting, and they didn't even raise their head. They just kept eating acorns, which tells me that they are probably local bucks, because they're accustomed to all the shooting that comes from the club and the farm here, of course. But when you see a buck crossing, walking around these fields, around the edge of the woods or something, somebody shoots over here at the club or something, holy moly. I mean, he turns the afterburners on, he's out of here. So you can tell that buck probably is not from around here. But any buck that's from the area, the local area here, they're used to shooting, so they don't pay a lot of attention to that. But it's time to go to the house and feast my eyes on that good-looking woman, and she's got some taco soup ready for me. So I'm gonna go to the house, and I'll close up the quickly here and go to the house and get me some taco soup. Talk soon.